Hello everyone, this is ALKRTY here. My name is ALKRTY. Today I will give you a short presentation on the International Criminal Court. In particular, we will be talking to you about the situation under investigation. So there is many cases and situation on the International Criminal Court. So we'll be talking to you about each of them, individually. But before I talk to you about the situation and cases, I must give you some information about the ICC, or the International Criminal Court. So the International Criminal Court is governed by the Rome Statute. And this court is considered to be the first permanent treaty-based. So this is the first permanent court, within the human history, or within the modern human history. The Rome Statute entered into force in July 2002 and has been ratified by many hundreds of countries around the world. What the jurisdiction of the ICC is, the ICC has a jurisdiction over the most serious crimes of concern to the international community as a whole. Namely, is the first one is genocide, crime against humanity, and war crime, and the other one is the crime of aggression. So there's other crime called the ethnic cleansing, but it hasn't been applied by the international law yet. And the ICC intend to complement, not to replace, the national criminal justice. So the ICC, in other words, the ICC is step when the national justice fail by unwilling and unwanting to bring the perpetrator before the court. That's when the International Criminal Court will step in to bring those who violated the international criminal law to be accountable before the International Criminal Court. Okay, this is just a brief information about ICC, but I will make a video about the ICC, so I can give you we can get into depth about the International Criminal Court. Okay, about this video, this topic of the situation under investigation by the International Criminal Court. This topic has been divided into 4 sections. The first section is about the situation under investigation. Give you just like a brief information. What is the situation or the case under investigation by the International Criminal Court? Second is the jurisdiction in the general situation, and context and alleged crime. All this section belong to the case of Darfur, West Sudan. And the last section is going to be about resource. So there is many useful links there for people who specialize, or people general, the general readers, or the public, if they want more if you are interested for more information about the court itself, or about the situation under investigation by the ICC, you can just go one of these links and you will get more information about this topic. All right, if you are ready, let's start with the first slides here about the situation under investigation. And it says here, upon referral by the state parties, or by the United Nations Security Council, or the on its own initiative, or initiative, and with the judge authorization, the Office of the Prosecution, so OTP, stand stand by this is the OTB stand of the the Office of the Prosecution or the Prosecutor. They conduct investigation by gathering and examining evidence, questioning person under investigation, and questioning victim and witness for the purpose of finding evidence of a suspect, innocence, or guilt. The Office of the Prosecution or the Prosecutor must investigate incriminating and exonerating circumstance equally. Basically, what it says here, whether the situation being referred by the country or by the state who is part of the Rome Statute, or by the United Nations Security Council, or the office the office of the prosecution take initiative to investigate in such situation. So the office of the prosecutor requests cooperation and assistance from the state and international organization, and also send investigators to areas where the alleged crime occur to gather evidence. So the investigator must be careful not to create any risk to the victim and witnesses. Initially, this here, what it says here, it says the situation will be referred to the International Criminal Court by one of these ways. So when the international or when the office of the prosecutor started to investigate any situation around the world, has to be very, very careful not to put the victim or the witness at risk. Okay. Okay, we talk about right now here. This is the first situation in particular, Darfur, Sudan, in Sudan, North Sudan in particular. That is what we will our topic will be this today. So situation referred to the ICC by the United Nations. This is Darfur situation has been referred to the International Criminal Court by the United Nations Security Council in March 2005. So since 2005 until now, we are in 2018, the justice hasn't been served yet, and the victim is still crying for justice. So since 2005 up to now, it's a long time. People are being waiting, and this all because the state and the international community are not willing, really, to be honest, to cooperate with the International Criminal Court to arrest these people who have been accused by the office of the prosecutor to stand before the court to be accountable. So the ICC or the International Criminal Court investigation opened in Darfur situation in 2005, in June in particular. Current focus, alleged crime that genocide, war crime, and crime against humanities committed in Darfur, Sudan since July, the 1st of July 2002. This is just estimated date. That's when the crimes or the people being subjected to a very international, very serious international crime, such as genocide, war crime, and crime against humanity. July, the 1st of July 2002, when the Rome Statute entered into force. Okay, current regional focus is Darfur, Sudan, with outreach to a refugee in eastern Chad and those in exile throughout Europe. So the office of the prosecutor has gathered information from people people has been forced displaced in eastern Chad, and people being internally displaced, and the people exiled throughout Europe. There is many Darfurian people around the world, and they witness some of these crimes happening in front of their eyes. The jurisdiction in the general situation. Sudan is not a state party to the Rome Statute. That's true, and this is a fact. But since the United Nations Security Council referred the situation in Darfur to the ICC in Resolution 1593 in 2005, on the 3rd of March 2005, the International Criminal Court may exercise its jurisdiction over crimes listed in Rome Statute committed on the territory of Darfur, Sudan, or by the national form from the 1st of July 2002 and onward. So, because Sudan is not part of the Rome Statute, that's one excluded from the doesn't stop the ICC to investigate in this matter, because the matter or the situation has been referred to the ICC by the United Nations Security Council in 2005, 31 of March 2005. That's why the ICC has the jurisdiction to investigate in this matter. So there is no one has to or should argue about this situation at all. The ICC has jurisdiction to investigate in this situation. Context and alleged crimes. The ICC investigations regarding Darfur focus on allegation of genocide, war crime, and crime against humanity committed in Darfur, Sudan since the 1st of July 2002. The United Nations Security Council determined that the situation in Sudan continues to constitute a threat to the international peace and security. That's right. And referred the situation to the International Criminal Court in March 2005, taking note of the report of the International Commission of Inquiry on violation of international humanitarian law and human rights law in Darfur, 2005. So the international community has sent an inquiry. This team went to the Sudan by the Security Council to investigate the matter. So the United Nations Security Council has relied on this investigation on this report. That's why they referred the situation in Darfur to ICC. Context and alleged crimes. The United Nations Security General established the Commission to investigate report of violation of international humanitarian law and human rights law in Darfur by all parties, the rebels or the government armed force, to determine also whether or not acts of genocide have occurred, and to identify the perpetrator of such violation with a view to ensuring that those responsible are held accountable. And that's what we want, and that's what the victim crying for. The Commission took as the starting point two focus. The first one is, according to the United Nations estimate, there are 1.65 million internally displaced persons in Darfur, and more than 2,000 people, refugees from Darfur in neighboring Chad. And the second thing is there has been large-scale destruction of village throughout the three states of Darfur, and that's true. This is evidence on the ground right now. So the ICC investigation, which opened in June 2005, has produced several cases with the suspect ranging from Sudanese government official, military, Janjaweed leaders, and leaders of the resistance front, and has involved charge that include the following crimes: genocide by killing, genocide by causing serious bodily or mental harm, and genocide by deliberately inflicting on each target group's condition of life, calculated to bring about the group physical destruction. Second one, war crimes: murder, attacks against the civilian population, destruction of property, rape, bleaching, and outrage upon personal dignity, violence to life and person, intention, directing attacks against persons, installations, materials, unit or vehicles involved in peacekeeping mission, and crime against humanity: murder, persecution, forcible transfer of population, rape, inhuman acts, imprisonment or severe deprivation of liberty, torture, extermination, and torture. The situation in Darfur was the first to be referred to the ICC by the United Nations Security Council, and the first International Criminal Court investigation on the treachery of a non-state party to the Rome Statute. It was the first ICC investigation dealing with the allegation of the crime of genocide. Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir is the first sitting president to be wanted by the ICC and the first person to be charged by the ICC for the crime of genocide. Neither of the two warrants of arrest against him have been enforced, so he's still at large. The al-Bashir, he is still at large, and he's been wanted by the criminal court for a long time, and he is not in the court custody. All I can say here that the United Nations and the International Criminal Court, or the Office of the Prosecutor, has started investigate on the matter of Darfur for a long time ago, and they have issued a warrant arrest for there is many people, but all of them is still at large. No one of them has been arrested to held accountable before the International Criminal Court, and this is really unfortunate. Anyhow, we'll be continuing this matter on the next video. So we come to the end of this topic. I have placed some useful links here. This is a resource if somebody interested to get more information about this topic. Please go to this one of this website and you will get more information. I'm really excited to talk about this topic over again and again and again. I'm not going to give up. We will be talking about this topic until something has done, because justice has to be saved. Otherwise, the victim in Darfur is still crying for justice. But as you can see, the international community has ignored them for a long time, and therefore some of them they don't have a faith on the international justice. Therefore, we call upon the international community to work with the ICC to save justice. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you sometime very soon. Take care. Bye for now.